I am Emma Jackson.
My name is Ben Prolific.
My name is Peter Abiodun Ayorinde.
Okay, my name is Godwin Ajete Ajay.
My name is Slim Boy, Slim for short.
My name is Vivian Makochku Onzurike.
I'm feeling good, majorly because I won.
I didn't really expect it because maybe I prepared, maybe I didn't prepare well because it's the judge's decision and I respect every other decision.
Well, I'm feeling energized. You know, when after a battle, adrenaline is up, adrenaline is high, and I'm tipping to go for more, but it's over. And I just ended by hugging a good friend, that's all.
I'm feeling excited, feeling good. As I said on my first battle, I'm living the dream. I'm reaching out to as many as I can that you can do whatever you think you couldn't do. You can achieve greatness. So I'm feeling quite, just as my opponent had said, I'm still feeling pumped, ready to go at any point in time.
I feel great, I appreciate the opportunity. I'm blessed to have met people that I've met so far, the constructive criticisms and everything. I feel great.
I feel calm for now. Before the debate, I was a bit nervous. But when we got in debate, I have to just put in at least effort to making sure I secure the win for the night. So that's how I feel.
Actually, I'm not gonna lie. During the battle round, I already felt we were not doing well because when one of the Judge Lizzie was saying that the banter was poor, I knew it was poor actually because I was very tired of arguing. So when I had the first two judge scores, I wasn't expecting to win. But fortunately enough for me, when the final score card was called, I emerged the winner, and I'm very grateful for that.
I felt that I needed to really talk more about what makes fan ownership, very important, and what fans will gain more if they own their clubs, okay, if they really own it, because there isn't so much more nowadays really about fan ownership, as not many of them are around anymore. So you couldn't even really grasp what the new experience really is in 100% fan ownership. So majority of what we have right now is a bit of hybrid, just like you said during the debate, and it hasn't been really easy to really be tactically on point and intellectually, be able to deliver. So I had to really use a lot of maybe some ideas and be able to really land, because to be honest, there isn't so much successful or well-known fan ownership. That's why that was the time I had to go back in time and also back forward about what fans really enjoy, rather than why 100%. There isn't no much examples to really give. So one has to just really be very tactical in really doing that battle, and it's fine.
I just want to beat this guy. I just want to beat him. Like, even Mr. Femi had already set me up. He was like, if I'm on this topic, I'll wound him. So I was basically like, okay, to whom much is given, much is expected. So I just have to defeat him. And in fact, I have so much pressure. The person I defeated last, Michael, shout out to him, he was like, guy, I expect you to get to this level. So I just had to be beating anybody I see. So that's how I was feeling.
I thought I had it, I thought I did enough to get the win, but it is what it is. Respect to my opponents.
He felt shortcomings from the beginning, so on the final round, which I've had several corrections from the last time I came on the debates, to put in more effort on my closing. At the final round, I know I have to at least prove a point, but it all went well at the end of it.
Yes, I think I effectively made my case, especially in the opening and the closing round. But in the banter rounds, I really did not express myself very well. Mostly because I'm very tired from coming from work. But I believe as the competition goes on, I'll do better.
I did to an extent, but the deciding judge or the Judge Lizzie felt the way I argued my case were very much without facts, and some of the facts weren't true. They were just vague. So because of that, that was why I lost.
Like I said, I was the devil's advocate somewhat. I wanted to go the Chinese route. I wanted to go through the Russian route. A lot of other ownerships that have come and really failed. But if I had really, the last time I went from where I lost, I was picking from the high hanging fruit and left the lower fruit. So this time around, I was picking from the low hanging fruit, and I didn't really pick too much. That's why Guinea's was actually saying that I should have, gone too much there. But I heard there were really much there. It was a bit shallow, but that's why the delivery has to be very unique. And when one is sitting and facing a big a Viking like this man, over there, one has to really be tactical.
Okay. There is always going to be much or less to be said at the end of the day. But given the fact that I was able to push through and I got the verdict in my favor, he gave a good fight sincerely. I was expecting to give him a whitewash, but I did as much as I could. There were still one or two things that I'd love to have said, but for time and rush of blood to the head, I couldn't make those points. So I did, let's say, 80% well.
I think I did my best, but I felt like I could have done better, being a bit more eloquent and being a bit more professional about it.
Yeah, from one start, I laid my points, which is always where I'm going to get my opponent from, lay my points from the beginning and try and banter you at the middle. So I think I laid my points from the onstart, and it was clear enough. It sent a message to the judges too.
I think my most challenging part of the debate was my original insecurity, considering that my opponent was a top seed in the first round. So meanwhile, I barely made it through vote from the public. So more like a best loser kind of qualification. So I was the underdog. So my insecurity was, it came into play in the early round, but thank God I was able to manage it, and thank God I made it.
I think the banter and the closing round. The closing round, in the sense that I was just talking about the injuries and all that, and using some terms I said they were not really radio friendly. So the closing rounds was the most challenging.
The fact that I had to spread the few ideas that I have, and also still have to do the closing to make the closing to be a bit unique. Maybe it's because of the way I do things. I try to put some, good deliveries. But I think there was a time where I didn't like repeating things, so it was a bit difficult to do the perfect job. But sometimes you don't always get that, especially with this kind of topic. So
This guy is coming back at me. I'm giving him, and he's still talking. Like, the fact that he was virtually rebutting my points like MIHX did. You are virtually on a losing side, and you are just going back. Come, I won't win this here. I was just like, so he really and he had been saying it even from downstairs when we met. He was like, we have to hype this match. We have to raise up the ante. And so, in fact, he really pushed me, encouraged me. He gave me a fight, and I really appreciate him for that.
I think executing how would I put it now? Like, expressing my points, I would have done it in a more professional and a more you know, standard way, in a standard way, yes.
It was the banter stage, and because I am really, I felt relaxed. I didn't go for hit. I was just relaxed and trying to hear my opponent banter before I counter his argument. So I was just relaxed on the banter stage, which I will not make the mistake of next time.
Okay, I won't lie, my best strategy of debating is focusing mainly on my point. Is when I have more time to, to talk, that's when I can do a rebuttal. But tonight I didn't really do much of a rebuttal, except in the banter round. So,
Well, I counted him well, but just that I was just thinking I could do more. I could have more points on the night, like really hit the nail on the head. I think that was what I didn't really do.
Thought process. That it's is a kraken. And, you will see. We will sit down here very soon. Is a kraken that you need Zeus and Poseidon to really take him down. And when you, to be honest, when I saw Ghana, my mind. That's why it's very good to know your opponents, know your enemies. That is what Art of War really said. And to be honest, I was preparing for a wrong opponent. I actually looking for a female. I thought it was a female that wore a red tie. I was preparing for her. I was ready to grab her. That woman, one way today. And I got to the reception and I saw a very kind, gentle-looking man. So by the time he started spewing and talking, when the battle was like, man, we'll go fight this. This man will call me today. So we had to do something about it, and the war ended and I lost it, but it got some bruises too. Yeah.
Maybe Sunny is starting to sound like a cliche. There is nothing this guy is going to say, I must defeat him. I must defeat this guy. I cannot fall my hand in this place. I have the upper hand. In fact, already he had been flustered. Probably if we had not even met, maybe by the time we entered the studio, because he said it, that he was expecting to see a lady. If he had met me in the studio, I followed him there and said, a guy, maybe I would have even defeated him more than that. So my thought process was like, no, I really have to win. I really have to do my best, give the best, not just to him, not just to the judges, but to people who are listening as well.
I wasn't really thinking about anything. I was just, I just wanted to deliver my points and, do my thing.
I was waiting for him to give his statistics first, then I will throw a question to him. I was very intentional with my questions on how to make him think about things I'm asking him and stammer at some point. So I was very reserved when he was making his points, so I can give him questions that I know it will be hard for him to answer. So I think that was what got me to this point.
of course, I'll try to build my stage confidence more. I think that's very key, so I can be able to master my thoughts and give my best.
If I have the chance, I would get real points, real concrete points, and hit the nail on the head. Not really like the stats. Give correct stats. That is what I will do. So maybe if I have more chance, I will get enough stats to back up my claim.
I would have stood up, dropped the headset and grabbed him by the scarf. Maybe that could have rattled him a little bit. Honestly, I wanted to go for more. He was prepared. His angle has a lot of, he has a lot of choices, and I was looking for, where should I? This guy is taller. I'm the David, but I can beat him. Like David beat Goliath. Let's do it. But he still won. I got him.
Well, make more points. Silence him, which he really proved that would be a Herculean task. But if we had the chance to keep going, I just noticed that Mr. Femi had pressed the bell and this man was still speaking. I be like, it's not lie, or we'll go continue this thing. And I kept on going. Mr. Femi, he's okay. In fact, when it was like the closing round, he was like, should he have 2 minutes to continue? I was about to say, I'm ready to go for you, but I just had to respect it. So I'd like to do more, just do more.
I think I would have loved to, like, take my time to work on my eloquence and, how I pass across my points.
Yes, I would have added more effort in the banter, which the judges complained about how it was the weakest of the night. So I think next time I'm coming here, because I know I will be debating on Tuesday. I will have my energy 100 and as well make plans of my closing, which they have already corrected me twice now. So coming next time, it won't be as the same. I'll plan, and the way I'm planning for this opening is what I'm planning for the ending by Tuesday.
I think the judges perceived the argument to be okay, like they said, especially the opening and the closing round. But like I already said before, the banter round wasn't very good and they were disappointed, but I'm going to give them better next time.
Like I said, one of the judges scored it all draw, the other one gave it to me. And then the female judge gave it to my opponent because she felt my stats were not correct. So because of that, instead of giving it to me, he rather give it to somebody who has a better start, so who just moved around the points and had something different to say.
The closing, like I said, I didn't want to repeat a lot of things. There isn't 100% fully owned clubs. So I was hoping that the judges would come from the angle that, okay, fine, maybe this guy, maybe he presented something and he did, maybe we shouldn't have used the same metrics, sort of. But they did their best. All they said was true. I could have done maybe a bit more in the closing, but I was looking for non-repetition. And it didn't, but he nailed about 8-9 coffins for me, and at least I could only enter one. Yeah.
I believe they were satisfied. Maybe one or two of them were impressed. I think I've been on the advantage in terms of the debate topics I've been having, and I've been doing my best to represent very well. So I believe they were satisfied with what I gave, and they were happy with what I gave. They might be expecting more, and I'm going to give them much more.
From their comments, I guess they thought I was coming more from a street angle. That's how I learned how to do banter stuff. So.
Like I said before, I said I was not coming just for the money. I didn't even know. It was because I know there are so many brilliant contestants on the show. So my plea is that after here, I hope that after here I could secure myself a job on the radio, or at least intern. That's the only priority I'm having here. Even if it's internship or work with someone that I can learn more and get myself to the point I want to. It's not just about the money for me. It's about meeting these people and as well seeing if there will be a room for me to shine in this place, in this radio station. I wouldn't mind. That would be my greatest achievement for the year.
Okay, to be sincere, I really want the opportunity to, showcase myself in on-air stuff. So if I have the opportunity to feature more in competitions, I would love to do that so I can have the publicity I want to start whatever I want to do.
What's next is I will try to get the votes of the audience, get them vote for me and see if I can come back.
I love Nigeria. I'll start thinking about what I'll do for my country. If Nigeria Info says that I should come and do some things, I will surely do. I'm versatile and I love here. I love the people. I love the environment. I always say that Nigeria Info or Wazobia Info, they're the Real Madrid of this business. So if not even work here, I would like to maybe do things with this team, with the reach that you have here. And maybe from there, with a lot of people, including alumni of this fan battle, we'll be able to launch something very nice for this future, for our future rather.
Oh, well, to move higher, to break more grounds. I'm equally a patriot. I want this country to be better in any way I can. And if I can achieve that even through my voice, even through joining the station, helping the station in any way, because Nigerian Info has been doing quite a lot. And I'd really like even to be part of this family, part of this organization, to help and to grow Nigeria as well, and personally as well too.
Go back to my, job as a data analyst, and I'll try to, get votes to stay back in the competition. I know and I feel like I can go far.
Hi, my name is Olisa Chukuma. I'm part of the judges for this season's fan battle. And how do I evaluate and score participants on the fan battle? Well, I look for at least three things. Quality delivery, one of them. How do you bring your points across? It's a presentation, so present in a good style. Sometimes you don't have to really shout. Maybe you might have a way of delivering your points, intensity, maybe some emphasis on certain words or certain points. So quality delivery is very important for me. Second is bringing some what I call compelling arguments, compelling points. As a judge, there are some things that we know or maybe know really well or don't know much at all. So bring something that makes me go, interesting, that's a point. So bring in some compelling arguments in your battle against your opponents, or poking a flaw in the argument brought by your opponent, especially when it comes to the banter part. And the last point I look forward to, or aim for when I'm scoring as a judge on the fan battle, is your landing argument, which is your closing argument. So you have your opening, you have your banter, you have your closing. I think there you can really make your case about the points you're arguing, whether for or against. I will always say on the fan battle, it's like being in a courtroom and you're a lawyer and you have a murder case. You're defending a murder case. Your client is a murderer, or being accused as a murderer. Give us reasons why you feel he's innocent. That's it. So those three things I'll repeat again. Quality delivery, bringing in something compelling to the argument, and also closing and landing quite your case very well. Those are how I evaluate and score participants on the fan battle. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Queen Lizzie of Sports Salon, and this is, I think, the last day of the round of 24.